Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Oh man. It's supposed to be like a warped record or something. I don't know.
A world record? A warbled record?
Warped.
Warped record. Welcome, everybody, to the Hector and Keller show. My name is Hector. Oh, shoot. Is it on loop?
Long.
Hang on. Sorry.
On loop.
I took it off. My name is Hector.
Oh, and I usually introduce both of us. I'm Keller. Hi, how's it going? That's
And
did
we...
you win last week?
I don't know. No.
What the fuck, dude?
I named the show this because I was like, I'm sick. I have COVID. So today it's all about me. And I said, it's going to be the Hector and Keller show. But you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? You're right.
I don't know why you're even doing this, honestly.
You call. We're 2 days late, but you called me out on it, Keller.
You gotta leave it. It's gotta say that. You're right. It does need to. Man, now I feel bad.
Change it back.
Christ.
Change it back if you want. Change it back if you go ahead. Change it back.
I have the power.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ.
We're 2 days late. We were supposed to do this Monday night. It's currently Wednesday night, 8 p.m. July 20th.
This motherfucker.
2022. But it's probably good because I do feel a little bit better than I did 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
When I texted you on Monday and I was like, hey man, I texted you and I was like, I'm not feeling great.
Like, why does his text message sound like this?
Yes. I said, hey man, bad news bears, I got COVID.
I don't feel so good.
And you were like, that's okay. We can do it whenever. Nobody cares about this show anyway. I said, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're right. That's exactly what I said.
Sorry about that. I might cough a little throughout the show, but
yeah, man, sanitize that mic after, dude.
I will. I'm in my garage and I live alone except for with my girlfriend who also has COVID. We're okay. We are self-isolating for weeks, not going to Comic-Con. And we have a bunch of stuff to talk about.
You guys might see Hector cry this.
We got a bunch of stuff to talk about because number one, we have a movie to talk about. Number two, we have a book the movie is based on to talk about.
That your page is into.
Like that I am 20 pages into this book right here. Look at this.
We're gonna have to fucking get into it, dude.
I am like a chapter and a preface into this book. And
this podcast just became the Hector and Keller show / the Bourne Identity book podcast.
The Bourne. Oh man.
It's a book club.
I don't think I would like that one.
It's just, I'm just gonna start reading it at the same time, and just next time we do this, I'm gonna be like, so how do you feel about how far you are?
Pretty cool, pretty good.
Cool. Not as good.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's do the intro. Who do you want to read the intro? Why don't you read the intro this week?
I read the intro last week.
Yeah, but I have COVID.
Yeah, I think that'll make it better.
It'll make my COVID better if I read it.
That's what I meant.
I meant
like a ginger shot, dude.
All right, who's reading the intro then? I'll fucking do it. Who's reading it?
A dead guy.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, it's a zombie Doctor Strange is who's reading it. Okay,
it's zombie Doctor Strange, but also he's got a cold.
Yeah. Here we go.
I don't know what that is.
It's me, Mario.
That's what it's got to be. Just kidding. That's who's doing it.
Okay, it's me, Vampire Mario. Listen. Hey, listen to me. I read for you. I read it. Okay. Here we go. Number 365. The Bourne Identity. 2002. Director Doug Liman. Liman's kickoff to the excellent Bourne series wasn't quite as accomplished as the sequels, but it was a morally murkier film and set up the mood that Paul Greengrass so rewardingly continued.
Okay. The reading was amazing.
Thank
Incredible.
you.
You would never
Grazie.
know. You would never
Grazie.
know that Dracula Mario
Buongiorno.
had a cold at all.
Arrivederci.
Oh, there he goes. He's dying. He turned into a bat.
Turn it to a bat. I have to save the princess.
The what?
The princess. Oh man. Okay. So, what do you make, Keller? What do you make of that intro? I feel like they're kind of harshing on it.
Yeah, I think they're wrong about like considering this movie.
Wait, I know what it is.
This movie changed action movies, you know?
Paul Greengrass, is he British or is he Australian? What is he? Look him up right now. That's what
I'll
it
look
is.
it up.
That's what it is. British
So,
film
like,
son of a bitch. And you know what? Doug Lyman, I know this because I spent all afternoon watching Special Feature, is
he's American.
an American filmmaker. It says right here on his IMDb, Jewish American filmmaker and producer who directed Swingers, Bourne
Here's the
Identity.
deal. I do agree that the other two are probably better
They're very polished.
than the first one.
They're polished. Mm-hmm.
But this first one's awesome.
It's awesome. And the fact that they had to take the fact that we already did Bourne Supremacy.
But that's not even like what you highlight about this.
That's
movie.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A few years ago, we did Bourne Supremacy already. So Identity in this list is ranked higher than Supremacy. Yes.
Like if you think about the fact that The Dark Knight is number 15 on this list,
I know,
and it's
Christopher
like
Nolan.
it's only there because of the Bourne Identity.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, like Keller, unpack this. You said all action movies changed. Unpack this. It's 2002. 9/11 just happened. That happened while they were editing this movie. Like they had like a rough edit of this movie that they showed in August of 2001. No joke.
I'll give you the direct comparison. What Bond movie came out this year?
Die Another Day.
So that cartoon.
Yep.
You just had a slew of
I get it.
Batman movies that were nuts.
Cartoons. They're cartoons.
I'm trying to think of like any mainstream gritty blockbusters that were, I don't know, except for Heat.
Yeah. Heat. Yeah. Things like, Seven, things that were like dramas, things that were like, I mean, that's an excellent point. I think, especially because my take on this, rewatching this today, was I was like, dude, when this movie came out, it like changed me, like it shaped me, and it made me. I've
seen this movie a million times.
Yeah.
I realized watching it again today, and I was like, oh, and then this happens. Oh, and then this happens.
And then this happens. And I knew all of like the acting choices that Matt Damon made. I was like, here's when he's going to yell at Giancarlo. He's like, it's not coming back. God damn it. That's what I'm saying.
There's a couple of those. It's pretty funny, honestly.
It's so great. Yeah. I mean, my takeaway today was like, when it came out, I truly thought, I was like, this is the most realistic shit I've ever seen in a movie. Oh my God. But watching it today, I'm like, you know what? It's still outlandish. It is still outlandish, but this holds up. And this
also
holds
it is
up.
Like, this one morally murkier.
Yeah.
That's what's also awesome about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's saying that there's a bunch of shitty black ops stuff going on in the CIA.
Absolutely. And it was like, and watching the special features, they were saying like, we didn't know if we could do a movie like this. And then September 11th happened, and all of a sudden everybody was talking about that, the politics of the world in this way. And they were like, it just really was perfectly timed. It was things that apparently Robert Ludlum was already talking about in his book, The Bourne Identity, from 1980, but with different politics. But nothing's changed. Like, yeah, I need to read the rest of it, but very interesting. This is pretty great, Keller. In the chat, David Taylor says that he just finished this movie for the first time, just in time for this stream. This movie rules, is what our frequent supporter David Taylor says. which I think is
You're
great.
right,
That
David
that,
Taylor. This movie does rule.
but it just proves the point that like something that. Oh wait, the Bourne Ultimatum is ranked higher on the list. Interesting.
That makes sense. It is the
Are they?
best one.
It might be. Are they all
All
three? Then they're
three.
all three on
Yeah.
there. Well,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just gonna say
The three
someone.
Bourne movies.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, when this list came out, they were the only three. But
I know.
I want to emphasize that somebody who has never seen this movie can watch it today and still like it still works. It still hits
Well,
everything. The
even like the
movie's
technology's not that off or anything.
no, no, it's not. It's no. I think that the things
I
that
can't think of
are
anything that dates it that much other than clothes. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
what happened? What's going on?
The lights flickered.
Are you okay? Are you experiencing a brownout?
Everything seems fine so far.
Okay. Let me know.
There's just a little bit.
Okay.
You'll know because
I guess your internet will go
the
out.
internet will probably
Yeah.
go out.
You'll
Yeah.
just freeze and I'll be here by myself. Cool.
I'll hop on StreamYard on my phone.
Here's the thing I think is very dated about the movie. I think the movie is very 2000s. First of all, Ready, Steady, Go by Oakenfeld plays during the car chase, which is like the most 2000s, like early 2000s, like techno.
Well,
Remember that shit
But
when
you
that
still
music
love that
was like,
Moby song at the end, though.
dude, when that, I was about to say, when that thing, when that hits, you know it was a good movie.
As soon as that hits, I'm like, I'm starting number 2 right fucking now. And I did. I didn't finish it yet, but I don't like 2 as much as Identity.
I think that I like Identity more, even if 2 is a better made movie, only because origin stories are more compelling sometimes. Sequels can be compelling, but I think
just like all the ways he has to find out who he is so interesting.
It's so interesting when he's, he doesn't like when he's like in Germany and he's like, and they're like, passport, the papers. And he's like, I don't have my palace, palace. And he like starts speaking German and he's like, shit, I could speak German.
And then he catches the Billy Club.
And just to like, the other thing I really liked about this movie, well, first of all, there's so many things to talk about, but let's pivot for a second.
Matt Damon.
He is great in this.
He is.
And I
don't know if I really knew who Matt Damon was before this movie.
I knew him
This came out when I was 12. So I hadn't seen Talented Mr. Ripley, believe it or not, or Good Will Hunting.
I think I had seen Goodwill, but I know that I had seen Saving Private Ryan because in 1998.
Oh, yeah. I think I mean, it was like TNT was like, we're going to show everything.
But I remember seeing Private Ryan in theaters and it like fucked me up. Drama. It was great. Yeah, they do. That Spielberg knows drama too. And so I knew Matt Damon as, and because I'm a movie nerd little kid, like I was, watching entertainment television and shit. And they're like, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are the new Hollywood it guys and whatever. So I knew of him. And after I saw Saving Private Ryan,
that's a direct quote.
They're the it guys. And as I was watching Saving Private Ryan, I had a couple of thoughts. And I was telling this to Abby because I vividly remember having these thoughts. I remember thinking, they should make a Captain America movie and it could be like this. But with like Saving Private Ryan, but with a superhero like in it is what my thinking was, like visually and stuff. And then I remember thinking, and Matt Damon could be Captain America, like he could be Steve Rogers. And then years later, then this comes out in 2002. And it's basically a version of Captain America. He's found in super cold waters. He has all these like skills. He's like a floating body, just like in the comics. Yeah. He has all these skills that are not like, he doesn't have superpowers, but he has all this fight training that he doesn't even know how he has it. And there was one tiny element of Captain America, of his story in the comics, where he did have amnesia for a second. Like when they first found him in the ice, he wakes up going,
who he was.
Bucky. Like he doesn't know where he is. He thinks he's still in World War II. And then the Avengers have to kind of chase him around New York because he's kind of running around and he's like, like he goes crazy, I guess. Anyway, I just thought that if they were making superhero Marvel movies the way they're making them now, 20 years ago, I think Matt Damon would have been front runner for Cap, and I think Brad Pitt would have been Thor. Like I think there would have been a lot of. I think Tom Cruise probably would have been
Or not some other
Iron Man,
Australian person.
maybe. But I mean,
Brad Pitt, I feel like he's too small for Thor.
it was a different time in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know, but you're not wrong. But I'm just saying, I feel like in another time, it would have been Damon.
In another time. We don't have to do what the internet's done to oblivion.
But I also really want to mention that this cast is so good. Yeah. And dude, and Doug Liman did Edge of Tomorrow and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Those are good action movies. But I think my favorite member of the cast is probably Marie, played by Franca Potente, because I don't think I still haven't seen.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything else.
I still haven't seen Run Lola Run, but I know she was in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that came out before this, and that was her big breakout international famous making movie, but I have never seen it. So whenever I watch this movie, I'm like, I know Matt Damon's a movie star. I know Chris Cooper's a movie star. I know Brian Cox is a British
Chris Cooper's
actor,
like a character actor, kind of.
But I'm clocking them all. I'm like Julia Stiles, Save the Last Dance. Like I'm clocking them all as actors.
Who's your favorite of the
Tech?
three people who are like of the three movies? Who's like Jesus Christ is Jason Bourne? Or
okay, so in this one it's Chris
Pamela
Cooper.
Landy, Chris Cooper,
and then what's the actress who plays Pamela Landy?
I don't know, and I don't know why Pamela Landy is burned into my brain forever.
Because she's fantastic.
Yes.
And I feel like,
and then I feel like you have to include Brian Cox in the conversation too.
Joan Allen.
Okay.
Is Pamela Landy. Pamela.
You have to go
Landy
to Langley, Virginia, but
to find
Pamela
Landy. I think Chris Cooper is never bad in a movie. Okay, I thought it said in the chat Chris Cooper has never been in a bad movie, and I was like, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Chris Cooper was in that for 2 seconds. That's a bad movie, but he wasn't bad in it. Chris Cooper's never been bad in a movie.
He died well.
Keller, who's your favorite? Do you like, out of the tech people in this? Because this blew my mind, and I still don't know if this is true. But I know that Walton Goggins is in this movie. He plays one of the tech guys. He's one of the tech guys, Keller. It's Walton Goggins.
Then that's my favorite character in the movie. I didn't even see him.
From Deadwood. It's Walton Goggins. Sonny Birch from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Is Walton Goggins in Deadwood? I don't think so.
Yeah, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Isn't he? Hang on. I think
so.
He's not in Deadwood?
He's in Justified.
Farts on me. Wait a minute.
Justified.
Why do I think he's in Deadwood?
I've seen Deadwood more than once.
You're right. He's not in Deadwood. Who do I know?
I know.
Who did I click on that's in Deadwood? I don't know.
Timothy Oliphant.
Nope. So we've got Chris Cooper as Alexander Conklin, and he gets killed by the end of the movie.
Rest in peace, department.
Rest in peace. But Chris Cooper's really good in this, and him and Brian Cox are great.
Yeah.
And then we've got I'm trying to find out like the tech people, right? Brian Cox is like Ward Abbott. Okay, this actor named Gabriel Mann who plays Danny Zorn, who's like the skinny white guy next to Chris Cooper in any scene. He's the one who's like, we have mission confirmed, unsuccessful. Like that guy.
Oh, okay, that guy. Yeah.
I mean, he's good in it throughout.
The version of that guy dies in Supremacy.
Yes.
Gets stabbed in the elevator by Brian Cox.
Here's a crazy one that I still this is the one that I haven't confirmed yet, Keller.
What?
It's the one I haven't confirmed. But apparently,
what?
A young Brian Husky from Every Comedy Thing Ever.
I believe it.
From Children's Hospital.
How have I never heard him bring that up ever, though?
I mean, he apparently is
the amount of stuff I've listened to with Brian Husky. Have you Googled it? Did you give it a Goog?
It's on his Wikipedia. It's on his IMDb.
Then I believe it.
He plays Research Tech number 3, and it's his first movie role in 2002. And
he didn't show up in the special features. He wasn't doing the commentary.
And I think the reason I didn't recognize him because you know Brian Husky now is like very famously is like balding, has the beard.
Do you think he had hair?
Yeah, in the movie, I think he had hair and he was clean shaven. I think.
Okay.
So I think that's what fucked me up. I was like,
Whoa,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm like looking at the Wikipedia as I'm watching the movie and I go, Brian Husky's in this. Just how like Jack Black is a tech guy and Enemy of the State with Will Smith. It's like,
Yeah.
So who's your favorite tech guy? Is it Walton Goggins or Brian Husky?
I'm still gonna go Walton Goggins.
Sorry, Brian. Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Hey, it's nothing against you, Brian.
If I ever see Brian Husky in person, that's gonna be my.
I loved you in Bourne Identity.
I'm gonna bother him and go.
I'm
gonna bother him and go. Hi, Brian Husky. I'm gonna go. Hey, man, I'm a huge fan. You're fantastic and everything. And I especially loved you in this weird internet show you did that my other friend Amy Vorpal did about not laughing and you cracked everybody up. But I'm going to go, were you in the Bourne?
Funny.
He's so fun. I'm going to go, were you in the Bourne Identity? Is that true? Were you just clean shaven in the Bourne Identity that I couldn't recognize you? And I just want him to go, oh, yeah, that was me. I'll be like, okay.
And then he'll sucker punch you and run away.
So Walton Goggins is your favorite tech guy, even though you didn't recognize Walton Goggins. He was a pretty
Brian
prominent.
Husky.
I didn't recognize Brian Husky at all, dude. Okay, here's who else is in this cast: Clive Owen as the professor.
So good.
Like one scene.
But then he's like, the pills. Do you have the dreams?
Look at us. Look at what they make us give up.
I got shotgunned a couple times.
But that's a killer fight at the end because it's like over quick. Every one of these Bourne fights.
They don't draw it out. There's no slow-mo.
Mm-hmm.
There's,
He just
in the rain. He's like, I found a pen.
Yep. He just takes them out, dude. He takes them out.
And then
Julia,
he jumped out the window.
Yeah,
why would a person do that?
I don't know, man.
I love that line though. That's what she says.
Nikki Nod.
Why would a person do that?
Yeah.
What was your favorite fight?
Well, dude, I can't
pen fight. You can't beat pen fight.
I can't beat pen fight because
that's the only one you remember as anything.
Because what are the fights? I mean, he's got those like cops on the park bench.
That doesn't even count.
That
really.
counts.
And
then
fight.
There's also just like the action sequence of
and then the fight,
him getting through the bank,
the embassy or whatever.
Yeah, the embassy, and then there's the car chase, and then it's so great. It's really, really great. Although, again, when I was a kid, when I was 15 and watching this for the first time, I was like, this is real. And watching it today, I'm like, this is such green screen. When he's like, turn your head away, and they're like in the car. There's like crappy footage and I'm like, oh, I can see it, but I couldn't. It's all real. It's all real. And then there's God, man, when they get to the apartment in Paris and the pen fight, just because this still can squig me out. The idea that he stuck a ballpoint pen in dude's hand.
Yeah, it's just the skin. You're fine.
And other dude pulled it out. I'm like, that's insane.
I'm not going to leave it in there.
That's like, speaking of the Dark Knight, how like,
pencil I don't trick.
Where I'm like, they pushed it first for a PG-13 thing to put. But something I love like that you can just say,
that was awesome because it didn't show anything.
Right. It's a lot. It's not like the dude.
So effective though.
It's not like the dudes. It's not. They didn't close up on it and show a bunch of blood gushing out or anything gross. It was like
it's even unrealistic the amount of nothing there is.
Yeah, but you just know. I think it's also so smart because it's like everybody knows what that is, a ballpoint pen, versus like a hunting knife or some like like some like tactical weapon.
It's so cool that he just like uses whatever he found.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, I think that was great. Also, it was funny watching the them special feature and the commentary where Doug Liman was like, "We got one F-bomb because it was PG-13," and he was like, "And at one point we gave it to Marie, but then we're like, we should give it to Jason Bourne." And the one F-bomb is when they're in the car and she's like, "Tell me about yourself," and then he goes like, Fuck it. All right, this is this. I don't remember
Yeah.
anything that happened more than 2 weeks ago, and it's like that's a really good
It's a really good
F word.
use.
But Doug Lyman was saying that like the F word is such an effective word
Yeah.
that to have to limit themselves because they were like this would describe emotions
The
and
amount of times
yep,
that a person would definitely say that in those
yep,
situations. Like
yep.
even
Marie would
a
have been like,
person
why would a person fucking do that? Like it would be like,
like any person, like if the person had been in a monastery their
yeah.
entire life and then this is their first day out in the real world, they'd be dropping them like crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everybody, Conklin would be like,
You
be
know
like,
that Jesus fucking Christ, it's
yeah,
Jason Bourne.
it's Jason, Jesus fucking Christ, it's Jason fucking Bourne. It would be like every 2 seconds. Sir, we have mission fucking unconfirmed. Mission fucking failure. Sorry, sir.
Unfucking firmed.
Good fucking firmed. Okay, I keep going through the cast. Okay, Adewale Ikenoye Agbaje. I first fell in love with him with Lost, and then once
Yeah.
I watched Lost, would rewatch this, and I was like, it's Adewale, like it's Mr. Echo from Lost, and everything that he's been in, I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's really good in this. He's like, it's tricky because that's another thing I don't think holds up about the movie is that they're like, here is a guy who is a like African leader who like the movie brushes over the fact that the CIA like put him in power.
Yeah.
And they're like, and now that he's out of power,
Well,
like
he
he's been
says
voted
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a real pain in our ass, and he's
Ever since he's been out in exile, he's been a pain in our ass.
in exile, and he's played as this very over the top, like he's uncontrollable, and it's like fucking CIA, you guys, you put him there,
We're
like
trying
it's this,
to kill him.
It's a thing that it's kind of how like Casino Royale did the same thing. Remember where Casino Royale, which by the way, it opens with this sort of like Lashif talking to like African warlords and political leaders that are in Africa, and they're very like, it almost gives me a feeling of like, oh, it's this kind of racist sort of like these are African people that are like we have to it's that kind of feeling to it. But Adewale is really good in this, and he's especially good when he's in the weird flashback where like he's with his kids, and that's why Jason Bourne doesn't kill him, because Jason Bourne's like, I'm not going to kill you in front of your kids. So anyway, I thought he was fantastic.
Agreed.
Julia Stiles. I think it's weird this franchise later makes it so that Julia Stiles is supposed to be like the most important woman in Jason Bourne's life. Have you seen the new one? Did you ever see the new one, Keller?
That's who they flash back to, is Julia Stiles.
No, she's just in it currently.
Okay.
Like it's not a flashback. It's like she shows up.
Well,
and she's like the lead.
I guess that makes sense. She's been in 3.
But it's like she's just been in them. That'd be like if they brought back Walton Goggins and they're like, he's your greatest enemy, Jason Bourne. It's like he was just the tech guy in the
I don't
thing.
know, man. They've done that shit before.
I also like that actor at the beginning who plays Jackal.
That's literally what Mysterio was. He was a tech guy.
But he's a Spider-Man villain. No, but you're right. That's true. That would have been funny if they did hire Jake Gyllenhaal to just have a cameo in Civil War, like off the screen. People are like, "Was that Jake Gyllenhaal?" That would have been great payoff. Anyway, yeah, and it's and I mean, I guess we can talk about the other movies, but we can also maybe wait because I guess we still have to do Ultimatum on this list, which is cool.
True.
I thought we were done
in like 100 movies.
Yeah, in like 2 years.
And also, I'm gonna watch it like
soon, like later, this week. All right, so let's just talk about them. Have you seen? What's your ranking? Have you seen Legacy with Renner and then Jason Bourne?
I've seen all of them.
Okay. Did you see the show Treadstone? I haven't seen Treadstone.
I haven't seen Treadstone.
1 episode, 10 seasons. I haven't seen it. I mean, 1 season, 10 episodes.
was like, Jesus Christ. They really stretched it out, didn't
Oh
they?
man. One episode, 10 seasons. What? What is this, Law and Order?
What is this, Dragon Ball Z?
One episode, 10 seasons. Oh, made in the UK. One season, 10 episodes. I'm gonna watch it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Where did that air? Who made that?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Was that like a network show?
Yeah, I think it was. Let me see if I can find.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. You don't know about that?
Dude,
Jason
I don't
Bourne.
know.
The television was called Treadstone. It aired in 2019, and it aired on USA Network.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I'm not. Well, they did
Burn
Mr.
Notice.
Robot. Mr. Robot.
Chelsea loves Burn Notice.
Chelsea loves Burn Notice. I love Psych and Monk. They have some quality stuff.
Okay.
But also Mr. Robot's like a legitimately good show. So I don't know if they
Okay.
got good suits.
Yeah.
Royal Pains.
How do you know so many
All I
shows
know
on
is that
USA
characters
Network?
are welcome.
Is that USA Network?
Yeah, characters welcome.
Okay.
USA.
Treadstone. Characters welcome.
Characters welcome. TBS, very funny. TNT,
Yeah.
we know drama.
Okay. CBS. What is it? What's your catchphrase?
All access.
Paramount Plus. Oh boy. Well, Keller, what else did you think about the Bourne identity? Overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts. I
Yeah.
love this movie. You asked for my ranking. I would probably say I actually need to rewatch it because currently it's my favorite Bourne movie.
Me too. But I need to rewatch
just
it.
rewatching it. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be like, oh shit, Ultimatum's fucking good.
Yep.
And I think it's gonna go 3, 1, 2, 5, 4.
I still think 5 is worse than 4, even though I didn't like 4, because I remember really disliking 5, Jason Bourne, but I got to rewatch
I hate
it.
all the pills stuff.
Yeah, and Legacy, it's weird. It's weird, but I think my ranking's the same as yours. It's going to go 3, 1, 2, but I want to rewatch it, and I have the only ones I want to own right here. Bourne Trilogy, 1, 2, 3. That's all you need.
It's great that exists.
And I'm going to read this right here, and I'm 20 pages
in. Are you
in.
going to read the Bourne Trilogy?
Maybe.
Or are you going to see how you feel after that one?
I'm going to see how I feel after this one. And this is, you want to know how many pages it is? Guess.
200.
You know that's not a real guess. Shut up. What's your real guess?
573.
Close. 535. You're a good book boy. You can look at a book and know how many pages. That's pretty good.
GBV.
Good book boy.
Book boy.
We have an addendum. We have a Robert addendum to make.
Robert addendum.
Because last week we had a guest on the show, Dan Mills, and we had him pick a movie, and he was like, I'm going to pick Predator. And we were like, oh, it's already on the list. Or no, he's like, I'm going to pick Predator. And we're like, okay. And he goes, or Attack the Block. And we said, Attack the Block's already on there. Well, so was Predator. So guess what?
Predator?
Jay Washington, when we watched Crash with him. And that's not, I mean, it's a good, solid pick. So I hit up Dan again, and he picked the movie Man from Earth from like 2007 or something.
Okay.
I think it's he had this really nice, The Man from Earth. Yeah, he had this amazing, like, I could read it if you want, but he had this,
Does it take place on Mars?
No.
And there's a man from Earth?
He had this incredible, like, he sent me this whole long reason for why he picked the movie, and I just wanted him to just tell me which movie, but he was like, here's why. And it was beautiful. But The Man from Earth,
I want to know why.
It's from 2007. I'll tell you why.
He goes,
okay, I'll tell you the whole thing. I'll read it. He goes, this is all from Dan Mills. He says, okay, a little dated and production value, not so great, but a film I've watched countless times and one I would certainly consider one of the best, most interesting and thought-provoking ever is Jerome Bixby's The Man from Earth 2007. I penned this up for you in case you needed something for the show. We've never done this before, but okay. At his intimate But in Formal Retirement Party, a well-loved college professor tells his aged colleagues that he has been alive for over 14,000 years. At first, believing this to be some manner of party game, the academics analyze Oldman's claim from the angles of their respective fields of study. However, while he recants his unbelievable but nonetheless astounding life's story, secrets of mankind's history are revealed, as well those from their very own pasts. As the night goes on, personal philosophies, the work and study of entire careers, and lengthy friendships are revealed to be at stake as the validity of his claim somehow grows while it simultaneously becomes more extraordinary. Written by one of the greatest science fiction minds of our time, Jerome Bixby, originally penned the screenplay in the 1960s during his time writing Star Trek with Gene Roddenberry. In fact, the film's core concept was initially explored in the Trek episode Requiem for Methuselah. It was decades later, on his deathbed, that Bixby completed the screenplay for the film in 1998. Advancing mostly as the faculty members spar through intellectual argument, The Man from Earth is a fascinating piece of speculative fiction reminiscent of the idea-based sci-fi of the 60s and 70s. No lasers, no starships, Wookiees, or warp drives, just lots of history. Great performances, and a story that lingers in the mind of the viewers as it does in those of the characters, featuring greats like Tony Todd, John Billingsley, Ellen Crawford, and Richard Rayl. The Man from Earth is prime intellectual science fiction that proves large budgets aren't required to ignite curiosity, and it should not be missed by anyone, especially not fans of the genre. Boom.
Wow. Wow.
That seems very interesting. I want to watch it.
Throw that on the back of a Blu-ray.
I don't know if Dan Mills wrote that, but he is a writer, so I believe it if he did write it, or if he was like, this is from the back of the Blu-ray. I'd be like, either way.
Pasted it from the Blu-ray.
So that's the addendum. Keller, what movie are we adding to the list this week? Me and you.
No, you didn't say your overall thoughts of the Bourne Identity. You didn't say them. You don't like it?
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. No,
sack of shit.
I think it's great. I think it's
the fact that I sent you sirens from Italy.
Yeah.
And said,
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Yeah. You know what else too? Now that I brought up Dan Mills, and remember how he was talking about Predator in the scope of like masculinity, and whether it's like positive or harmful or reflective or whatever. I think that the Bourne Identity is like can be positive, I think, because in some of the special features, Matt Damon said that like there's a wish fulfillment of like a guy who wakes up and all of a sudden has these skills and he's the greatest ass kicker in the room. And that's true. That's like the James Bond, Ethan Hunt male fantasy. Like you want to be as
or even Bourne Ultimatum when Jason Bourne reaches his final form.
You just want to be skilled. You want to be competent. You want to be powerful. You want to feel helpful and powerful and stuff. I think that the movie shows a character who like he's at conflict with himself, and it's very internal, and then like his relationship with Marie really works. And I want to go back to what I was saying where like I love everybody in the cast, but the actress who plays Marie, every time I watch this movie, I'm like, that's just a real character. That's a real person.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I'm like, you're a Hollywood actor. I know what other things you're in, but because I haven't seen Run Lola Run, and because she's so good in it and so convincing, and it feels like, oh, Hollywood actor Matt Damon is pretending to be this amnesiac and has tricked this poor European woman who doesn't know him from Dogma.
Is this Borat?
Like it feels like it's like she's so good. And I think that what her character and Jason's character, like she's also very smart, but she's like a normal person.
Yeah.
And so when he's like, I've wiped down the room, and she's like, can I walk around or will I leave footprints?
I'm so mad they kill her off so fast.
I know it's devastating. And I think it's absolutely an example of fridging a female character to further advance a male character's story, which is bad. And I also at the same time think it was maybe the best choice for that movie because, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to rewatch Supremacy, but just because it's so devastating, and I saw some special features today that talked about both parts 1 and 2, and they're like, we tried to get across that it was his relationship with Marie that let him understand what kind of person he could be, and that even when she dies and he goes into revenge, he also goes into redemption and goes and talks to the child of the first person he killed and apologizes. And the movie was trying to say, the movie makers are trying to say like that's because of Marie. And I feel like that whole idea of that character of Jason Bourne in the first 3 movies, at least, I don't think I liked what they did with him in part 5, where he's just like back to fighting, like,
Yeah.
I think that it's a step in the direction of a more sensitive and thoughtful male action hero. Look at Casino Royale. Even in Casino Royale, he sits and cries with Ava Green's character after he kills some people and she sees it. And it's like,
Or even the fact that Julia Stiles in this is like, I monitor their health, and they're like, their physical health? No, mainly their mental health.
Mental health,
this
yeah.
fucks them. They fuck up.
Absolutely.
They're all fucked up.
I think the one thing that has like kind of gone the opposite direction has just been like Ethan Hunt's, like Mission Impossible's Ethan Hunt is almost like now
he's just
superhuman.
He is a cartoon character. Yeah, he's a superhero.
But even then, they're doing mission movies, and then in 2006, J.J. Abrams and company, they were like, well, we should have him be married so he cares about another person, and then it's like, and then if she gets kidnapped, stakes are raised. Like, and that's a smart decision to make it, care. Like, it opens with, he thinks his wife's going to die.
And then that
10-second countdown is so good. We're gentlemen. Don't.
You don't think I'll do it?
Not like this. Not like this. 7. You son of a bitch. I'm going to kill you. 8. Wait.
No.
10.
No.
Don't. Let's just do the whole movie. So anyway, my overall thoughts are, I think the reason I love this movie is because
now I'm out.
Is because Jason Bourne does over the top impossible shit in this, but
yes,
it tries to make you
none of it feels
like
it when you're watching it, though, because especially like
feels real.
I was thinking about like what must I have thought the first time I watched this? I must have been so stressed out, and also I didn't know anything about this story, so like I'm also learning who he is at the same time he is in the movie.
So cool.
It's very well done.
That would have been a great. Yeah, I'm trying to remember like what the trailers were like and stuff, but I feel like I remember seeing this in theaters with my dad. This was definitely a dad.
I was 11.
You were 11, so you caught this on video, DVD.
Yeah. Probably rented it.
TNT, Dano Drama.
No, I think we Blockbustered it. Probably rented
Blockbustered it.
We probably got it from you at 15 years old.
In 2009. You waited a long time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were like, listen, Legacy's coming out with Renner. I think I remember sitting in the theater with my dad and being like, okay, I know this is like an action movie.
Scared.
I'm scared. Can I have a Pepsi? I'm scared. Pete. And I remember also like what you're describing is that like as the movie went on, I was like, oh, he's the spy. How cool. He has the skills. This is dope. Oh, he can drive? Hell yeah, he can drive. Super cool.
It is.
And I also remember, this is also fun too, but I remember like that shot in the beginning where he gets off the boat and then that little car drives by and then he's like walking and then Jason Bourne disappears. And I remember because Doug Liman mentions it on the commentary, and I'm sure that I saw it somewhere else, or I don't know if I caught it or if somebody pointed it out to me, but I can never unsee that trick because it's all in camera. It's not a digital effect. So, and I know I pointed this out to you, Keller. I must have when we were like rewatching it to watch Supremacy, because I'm like, because I'll be like, keep your eye on that little cart, keep your eye on that little cart. And then as soon as like the person wearing a hoodie or a parka or something walks by and it kind of cuts the whole frame, like the little car that drives by, you can see Matt Damon like crouching, walking behind
You
it.
can see it.
You can
That's
see his little.
hilarious.
You can see his little
I was about
sweater.
to say that's so
Yeah.
funny. I wish
Yeah.
there was a reverse shot so we could actually see him.
Yeah. I mean, I
With
don't
like
know.
cartoon. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding.
It's real. It's real, and it's so funny because I think I remember in theaters being like, "Oh, he disappeared. Cool." And then ever since I knew where to look to see him, going, "Oh, Jason Bourne is like crouching for no reason to try to hide from
Nobody.
nobody on this dock for 2 seconds, and then it cuts and he's on a train." It's like so silly but
Because that's
cool.
the only
I
thing you
love it.
could do to disappear is to crouch down.
Yeah. Anyway, overall thoughts. Great movie.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite, but maybe Ultimatum's better. And it's probably one of my favorite. I mean, this and Supremacy. When I looked at my whole ranking, because I've been keeping track of all of these movies, like Supremacy was like number 20 or 30 or something. Like it was kind of low
Mm-hmm.
down there. And I had it at 4 stars instead of 5. And all
You
these
give
other
this a 5
movies,
stars.
I think I might give this 5 stars. What about you?
I
4
can't
stars?
think of anything. Like I don't know what's bad about it. Some people
Yeah,
don't like the shaky camera, and it's like,
fine.
yeah,
I'll tell you what's bad about it.
the dated
Again,
things you said.
yeah. The two, not just the Ready Steady Go and Moby songs, but
Yes,
like some of the when they're activating the agents and they're like and it's like super 2000s like little like zoom ins to maps and shit. Very
sure.
dated. But
Yeah,
I think maybe the worst thing about the movie is probably just like, okay, there's no real brown people in this other than Adewale's character,
mm-hmm.
who's and these like African characters who are, like the problem in the movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But it's like, could the movie have gone into could could somebody have been like, "We're the CIA, damn it, of course we're racist," or something like? It's like that shit's kind of obvious. Like it's kind of so.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna be. I think I pay more. I pay closer attention to that kind of stuff at this age than I did when I was 15, obviously.
true.
So I'll see how the other movies handle that aspect of world politics. But it's a 4 or 5 star movie for me. I don't know. What do you think?
I love this movie. It's one
Yeah.
of my favorite action movies, one of my favorite action franchises. I'd put it up there with the Mission Impossibles and the Dark Knight trilogy.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. These 3 movies, because don't take the whole franchise and don't take all 5 and treadstone the show. That's different.
No, the
But
trilogy.
these 3 movies, you put them up against the 3 best Bond films or the 3 best Mission Impossible films.
My brain
That's tough.
forgets the
That's
rest
tough.
of it.
That's tough. You know?
It's hard to do, especially since all of it came out after the Bourne Identity.
That's what I'm saying. Because in my mind, if you put this up against the 3 best Mission Impossible movies, the top 3 Mission Impossible movies were made after 2006. So they, of course, were influenced by this. And same goes for Bond. The 3 best Bond movies, in my opinion, are going to have Daniel Craig in it. Sorry.
I agree with you.
Right? So it's like, if someone's like, what about Goldfinger? I'm like, well, it's kind of different. It's
my favorite of the old ones, I think.
Yeah. And it might be too tough to compare like Goldfinger or Thunderball or From Russia with Love to
like
the Bourne Supremacy.
Fest. Yeah.
Yeah, totally different. But even then, I'm like, whatever Goldfinger is attempting to do and however it succeeds, I feel like any of these 3 Bourne movies absolutely crushes it in its success in what it's attempting to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're so effective.
Effective. Fuck.
Just like Jason Bourne.
Just like Jason Bourne. They get in, they're clean, it's done. Job is done. Boom. No flash.
Except it wasn't done. And that's why we're in trouble.
Blackbriar.
All these things you got to remember. Treadstone, Blackbriar. Ugh. Why do they come up with these stupid code names?
I don't know.
CIA is so stupid. They're a bunch of children.
Yep.
A bunch of children playing dress up. I hope they're listening to this. CIA.
Keller, what movie are we picking? You and me.
The
to
Bourne
put on?
Identity.
Hell yeah! Is it already? Wait, let me check to see if it's already on there.
No one's picked it yet, right?
Are you sure?
If they haven't, then it for sure should be.
Yeah, they have not.
Yeah.
They have
Toss
not.
it on there.
I'm doing it now.
I have not seen next week's movie. Have you?
Bro, neither have I. Wait.
Are you a fan of Oliver Stone?
I don't think I am. I haven't seen JFK.
I've seen I think
What
some
else?
of JFK. It's 4 hours long or something.
Cheers, Louiers. Keller, what is next? What is next week's movie so we can let everybody know?
Natural Born Killers.
Here's what I have seen. I have seen Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Same thing.
Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
And they paired Woody Harrelson with a great actress.
Yes.
And try to make it a love story. And Venom Let There Be Carnage is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to feel it.
You should
take it in.
You after next week, you should watch Venom Let There Be Carnage. Is it streaming anywhere free yet? No, right?
I think now it is streaming somewhere.
Okay,
but why after next week?
Because we should watch Natural Born Killers, and then you should immediately watch Venom Let There Be Carnage
sequel
to talk about it. Okay, so okay. Apparently, is it? Okay, Venom Let There Be Carnage might be streaming on Stars, but that's not what we're talking about next week. We're talking about Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers.
1994. It is streaming on Netflix in the US, here in the US, which is easy. So watch it on Netflix. I'm really looking forward to it. Robert Downey Jr.'s in this? Oh my God. That's cool.
Fuck?
That's cool.
Now I'm seeing it. It's a long blurb in the magazine.
Oh, really?
It's a long one.
All right. We'll have to, And I was going to tell you about me reading the Bourne Identity book.
Yeah, tell me about all 20 pages.
Okay. Page 1. Here's what happens. It opens with
it's an alarm clock.
It opens with like, oh, by the way, this whole book also has a villain in it whose name is, well, I'll just read the back, okay?
Okay.
Jason Bourne, he has no past, and he may have no future. This is one good thing about having COVID is you can tap into that.
Really go into it.
Trailer voice. His memory is a blank. His bullet-ridden body was fished from the Mediterranean Sea. His face has been altered by plastic surgery. Already, I'm like, I don't like that. That's fucking
What did Matt
weird.
Damon used to look like? Don't address it.
He looked like Ben Affleck, and then
because here's the thing, that is true in this movie. They just don't address it.
A frame of microfilm has been surgically implanted in his hip. Even his name is a mystery. Marked for death, he is racing for survival through a bizarre world of murderous conspirators led by Carlos, the world's most dangerous assassin. Who is Jason Bourne? The answer may kill him. So the villain in this is named Carlos. Is Carlos the Jackal. And he's apparently the most
he's the worst assassin there is.
The like world's number one terrorist.
He's so good at assassinating.
But that was also a real guy.
The Jackal?
Carlos the Jackal
is based on a real serial killer
he's alive.
Villain.
He's alive.
What did he do?
72 years old.
He's an assassin?
He is this is insane. This is insane about this whole thing. But
why didn't they put Carlos the Jackal in it?
Ilech, because it sounds too fake and dumb. Carlos el Jackal.
I'm terrified.
Ilech Ramirez Sanchez, also known as Carlos the Jackal, is a Venezuelan convicted of terrorist crimes and currently serving a life sentence in France for the 1975 murder of an informant for the French government and 2 French counterintelligence agents. While in prison, he was further convicted of attacks in France that killed 11 and injured 150 people and sentenced to an additional life term in 2011 and then to a third life term in 2017. A committed Marxist-Leninist, Ramirez Sanchez was one of the most notorious political terrorists of his era, protected and supported by the Stasi and the KGB. When he joined the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine in 1970, recruiting officer Bassam Abu Sharif gave him the code name Carlos because of his South American roots. After several bungled bombings, Ramirez Sanchez led the 1975 raid on the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries headquarters in Vienna, OPEC, which killed 3 people. This was followed by a string of attacks against Western targets. For many years, he was among the most wanted international fugitives. Carlos was dubbed the Jackal by The Guardian after one of its correspondents reportedly spotted Frederick Forsyth's 1971 novel, The Day of the Jackal, near some of the fugitives' bombings. This is real life, I read from Wikipedia, and it's so crazy that I'm sure that's why movie people were like, that can't be in the movie.
Yeah.
It's so crazy it sounds fake, even though it's real.
True.
And you know, the guy was in prison in 2002 when they did the... So anyway, apparently this whole book is going to be real life Carlos the Jackal being chased by Jason Bourne and vice versa.
Yeah.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the movie came out, people were mad that Carlos the Jackal wasn't in the movie, who had read the book. And I'm like, why are you mad at that?
I'm fine with it. There's no bad guy. The bad guy is just the government.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, I was telling
it's a bunch of incompetent losers. Is what we're learning. Who just murder people and you know.
Because if they weren't, they'd be listening right now, but they're not.
Losers. All 27 of these listeners, CIA.
I told my girlfriend, I was like, I started reading this book today. And I was like, I've been waiting 20 years to read this book. And she goes, why? And I was like, because I just had it. And I've just wanted to read it since the movie came out. And she was like, why'd you wait 20 years in? I was like, oh, just because I've just been doing other stuff. So it's not really.
I had to watch everything on Disney Plus. Yeah. Have you seen Be Our Chef? Yeah, sure. I've had this book for, at that point, 18 years.
But I had to watch every episode of Be Our Chef. Oh, and it just started Monsters at Work, the sequel to Monsters, Inc.
Is it good?
No. And I just finished Baymax, the sequel to Big Hero 6.
And it was?
It was okay. I liked it.
Okay.
It was good. Baymax is good.
They fucked up a Monsters Inc. show?
Yeah, I don't like it. I just watched one
I didn't
episode.
like the university movie.
Really? I thought that was good.
I thought it was fun.
Didn't we watch it in 3D?
Really like it. Probably.
Oh, man. Dude,
sorry.
I thought we did because...
Did I hurt you?
Yeah, the monster voiced by Bobby Moynihan. You liked him a lot. Because he was like, that was crazy. Like he had some lisp. Remember? You liked him.
Come on. Aspects, of course.
All right.
It's just, why would they make that the sequel?
Well, and then you watch the show. If you watch this show, you're going to be like, the university movie's better. You're going to like it more.
Well, sure, but I'm not going to watch that show either. I just got the okay to not to from my friend Hector.
I'll tell you what. I'll check in with me again once I finish it. And because maybe it'll get better by the end, and I'll be like, it's worth it.
Episode 8.
I'll let you know, dude. I'll let you know.
It's just a workplace comedy, but monsters.
Hey, ask me about any Disney Plus anything, and I'll tell you if it's good or bad.
You didn't like Be Our Chef?
Not worth it. I'll tell you if it's worth it or not. No. I'll tell you if it's worth it or not. Hit me with
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Worth it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, we talked about that. Did we talk about Thor: Love and Thunder?
I think a little bit.
No spoilers, but did you like it or dislike it?
No spoilers. I liked it.
Me too.
I didn't love it.
Me too.
I didn't love it. And also, then we put on Thor Ragnarok again after.
It's great.
And
Thor Ragnarok's better.
Could ever top it.
Yeah.
In the entire MCU can top Thor Ragnarok.
So
for me,
yeah.
And Love and Thunder doesn't even touch it.
No, and I think part of it is because I mean, maybe it's a cop-out, Keller, but I felt like Taika wasn't trying to top it, which is part of the reason I like
this.
Love
felt
and
like
Thunder.
a straight-up kids movie.
Yeah, but I like that because to me it did feel like Taika was like, look, I'm I'm making these movies for my kids. My kids
Yeah.
are in the movie. Hemsworth's kids are in the movie. You know, Hemsworth's wife is in the movie. She has a quick cameo. She's the wolf woman that he kisses on top of a
Oh.
woman wolf. You know, and Hemsworth's own daughter plays the kid, you know, throughout the thing, Gore's daughter. So I get that. I picked up on that. And the thing that happened at the end in Act 3, I thought was awesome. But it's a kids movie like Shazam. Like like little kids should watch it and be like, yeah, I'm a superhero.
Because
Yeah.
my nephew Ian went and saw it.
Yeah.
And that was his favorite part.
Yes. How old's Ian now?
9.
14, 17, 9.
Yeah. 37. He's older than me now.
Cool. Well,
he's springing on up.
Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I can does Ian like Thor? Because I'll give him a
He
Thor
loved
comic.
that movie.
You love that movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still haven't read some of those Thor comics that you're supposed to let me read.
They're cool, very different. But you know what? Some of the Thor comics that have to deal with Jane Foster Thor feel a little bit more in tone to the movie Love and Thunder, whereas some of the Thor comics
I don't know. I think that was I feel like they did not. It wasn't I don't know. It felt, I don't even know. It felt half-assed. Her whole storyline, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay. It felt full-assed to me, but
Oh, look, she's Thor. Oh, look, she's dead.
Oh, you spoiled it. Oh no, Keller. We just said no spoilers, man.
We did. I'm so sorry.
That's a
I'm
real
not
bummer.
that sorry.
No, that's a real bummer. No, but
it's in the comics.
You don't know. You don't know if that's true. You haven't read them.
I don't know if that part of it. Well, now I have a question about the movie that I can't ask you.
No, I know. Ask me as soon as we're ending the broadcast, which we should have done.
2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago.
Then
So
this
we
all
can end
could have
it.
been a fucking avoided.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be in the hot water I am.
So let's go ahead and wrap up. Bourne Identity, great. Natural Born Killers, we'll see next week.
Maybe great. Yeah,
Monday
we'll
night at 8 p.m., right?
Yeah, if you feel okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
I need you to take care of yourself.
Yeah, the 25th of July, Monday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time. We'll talk about Natural Born Killers. It's on Netflix. And we'll see everybody next week. Okay. That's it. Bye.
Bye, everybody.